Matthews better? His team won, so better. Better. Those are the rules. Exactly. We don't make them up. But it's the NHL, so the rules are never enforced. The debate rages on. Hi, kids. Victorious puppies. This team is ruining my life. Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief. We can, and we will. Victory puppies, boys. That was a sick Matthews goal. You like that, boys? You like that? Who's better, Matthews or Eichel? Matthews, that's right, Iggy, because you caught it, that's what it means. And you get a third one because I feel bad for you that you have to wear that stupid t-shirt. You just fart? I'm not going to show you the video here, but if you've seen on my Twitter, Iggy, impaled himself or gored himself on a stick, and he had to get 2 stitches because he's a tough guy. Look at him, look how tough he is, he's so tough. Leafs win! 5-3 over the Buffalo Sabres, which has all of a sudden turned into a really good rivalry again. Do you see? Do you see? The Blues, woo! The Canucks, woo! The Flames, aw, the Oilers, woo! And now the Sabres. Woo! 4 of 5, and all of a sudden, no more tears. And knowing the Leafs are about to drop back-to-back games to the Rangers and Red Wings, but whatever, right now they've won 4 of 5, and for the tiniest amount of time, for a couple of hours last night, the Leafs were in a playoff spot. Because unfortunately, the Vancouver Canucks, thanks for nothing, I think that way's west, lost to the Montreal Canadiens. So the Habs picked up 2 points. But here's the good news. It's not even Christmas. There are so many games left to be played this season. As long as they keep trending in the right direction, which they are, they have a real good shot at this still. Well, Buffalo and Montreal and Tampa could still... Well, what about Tampa? Enough about what about them. What about us? Let's talk about the game. Very confusing game before it even begins. Trevor Moore is back! And then he's not, and Adam Brooks gets called up. What? By the way, I saw a lot of Leaf fans go, Adam Brooks, who the hell is... You haven't been paying attention. First of all, have you not watched my prospect pyramid where I call players the wrong position? Last season, he put up 21 goals and 40 points in 61 games in the American Hockey League. It was a step that he needed to take. Prolific scorer in the WHL, he was one of those overage picks from the confusing 2016 draft who I wanted to see take a real step at the professional level. Last year, he scored 21 goals and 40 points in 61 games. That's a great start. Now with a bigger role on the Marlies this year, 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points in just 18 games. He's good, guys. Now, he took warm-up in this one, but he didn't play. I think that would have been unfair to him because this genuinely seemed like an emergency call-up. They didn't think Trevor Moore was going to back out. So even if he doesn't play, although I'm intrigued to see him play, especially with the back-to-back coming up, this was the Leafs rewarding one of their guys because he at least gets NHL money for a day or two. So with Trevor Moore and Adam Brooks out of the lineup, we go once again with a fourth line of Timashov and Spezza and Goat. Well, Timashov's just being an annoying nightmare in there. The Sabres clear the puck, but Spezza retrieves it, sends it back up ice for Timashov. Timashov tries to dangle in for a scoring chance. The puck is loose. Who roofed it? Austin Gauthieu's again! Freddie the Goat, Freddie Gauthier, I've been telling you he's got a decent shot, man. With his 4th of the season, that is a career high for him, and it's a 1-0 Leaf lead early. Now the Leafs are in an interesting spot, because I was thinking this after this goal, let alone what Timashov did later in the game. Even if Moore is healthy to return on Friday, how do you break that lineup? If Trevor Moore is healthy to play, you got to give Trevor Moore a chance to get his spot back because he had a solid spot in the lineup. But Timashov and Goat have been scoring the past couple games. It's a tough call, but you got spares with you, and with a back-to-back coming up and a little bit of rest, I think it's time for some experimentation. Second period. A little under 5 minutes in, the Sabres are in the Leaf zone and they got a few chances, but Tyson Barrie comes up with the puck. Here's the problem. Zach Hyman doesn't have a stick, and Barrie passes it to him on purpose. But Hyman kicks the puck back to John Tavares. Did they do this on purpose? Seriously? And he breaks out with 3 guys in a row. It's him and Mitch, who he passes it to, and Riley, who Mitch passes it to. Riley stops up, sends it across to a streaking Austin Matthews, scores! That's Marner's 20th assist, Riley's 20th assist, Matthews' 20th goal to make it 2-0. Oh my god, 20 Illuminati. Things that don't matter but only nerds care about. Like me, and Matthews has 20 20 goals before Christmas, because it's a year that begins with 2. Listen, he's young. He's not a perfect player, I know that. But when a guy is basically money in the bank to get 20 goals before New Year's Eve, you have an elite player. It doesn't excuse his mistakes, it just explains why you put up with them. He makes a silly play and we're like, why do we even have this guy? He effortlessly roofs it even though he looks like he woke up on the bench 45 seconds previous. Fair. But you know what, let me stop gushing about Austin Matthews and we'll talk about the next goal, which, oh, by the way, was Austin Matthews too! William Nylander skating through the neutral zone with the puck, as he often does, keeps the puck just onside with a nifty little bit of stick handling. Sorry, that's a nasty habit. I keep calling it stick handling. It's puck handling. You always handle your stick. He's handling the puck with his stick. Shut up and talk about the goal. Nylander somehow not only keeps the play offside, but holds onto the puck, maintains possession, stops up, and sends it again to a streaking Austin Matthews, who then promptly begins confiscating jocks. Connor Sherry, rip, go get another one in the gift shop. And he's got Omar doing the Bobby Shmurda. Darlene, like, is this helping? Nope! Austin Matthews! This guy's a Leaf, dude. 21st of the season, 3-0 Leafs. This is the Leafs team that I wanted to show up. This is the Austin Matthews that I wanted to show up. Jack Eichel, crazy point streak, Buffalo Sabres comfortably in a playoff spot. Make them a little uncomfortable, why don't you? Because the Leafs in their home and home against Buffalo allowed them to get 3 of 4, which is almost the difference in the playoffs right now. Time to make it right. A couple things that get lost with that goal because the ridiculous moves from Matthews. The person I feel worst for on that play is Linus Ullmark because I don't know what he's supposed to do. Matthews is gearing up on the forehand. He's dragging it as if he's going to do the Matthews, which is fire it through the defender's legs and roof it or put it wherever he wants, basically. And Connor Sherry knows that, so he's like, Heh! So he's obviously gonna get walked, can't go anywhere, and Matthews goes around him. Ullmark thinks the shot's coming, and Matthews puts on the nice move, but at that point, Ullmark's already finished, and Darlene almost gets a piece of it. That would have actually been a really nice save. 2, Nylander is a player who gets dumped on for the little things, but all the little things on that play help that goal happen. The play doesn't happen, the move doesn't happen, the goal doesn't happen if Nylander doesn't keep that thing onside and somehow enter the zone with possession after all of that. Last thing I want to point out, Tyson Barrie got an assist on this goal, which is funny because you can't even see what he did on the highlight that I watched. But it's a contract year for him, so I'm sure he's like, shout out. And the Leafs head into the third period with a 3-0 lead. Who else is terrified? John Tavares takes a penalty at the end of the second period. Ah, yeah, that's nice. Rasmus Dahlin puts a shot on through traffic. Morgan Riley sort of with the screen there on Freddie. Scores! Now the lead is only 2. Yeah, that's about right. But as the saying goes, the best offense is a good defense. Well, the best defense is a good offense. Which has always been dumb to me. The best defense is a good defense, but the offense will do. Still only 5 minutes into the second period. Ristolainen throws it on. The Sabres get a couple whacks at it, but the Leafs manage to clear it. Freddie the GOAT being that player. GOAT gives it to Barrie, and Timashov is gone. Ristolainen is trying, but he can't catch him. Timashov gets control of the puck. Nifty little move, forehand, backhand, between the legs of Linus Ullmark. 4-1. Now I'm more terrified. Why'd you do that, Dim Tim? And the Illuminati stuff continues. It's 4-1, and the 4-1 goal was scored by a player wearing 4-1? Okay, focus, Steve. You're losing sight of the fact that maybe Barrie got a bit of a generous assist on the second Matthews goal, but this one, setting up Dmytro Timashov, was unreal. Great pass from Barrie, and that's what I've been expecting from him all season. All the bombs from the point and carrying the puck in and scoring goals, yeah, that's fine. I want him to set goals up. I expect Tyson Barrie to get 30 assists in a down season. Not points, assists. That was nice. And to any non-Leaf fans watching this video, Timashov is a healthy scratch. Again, man, he's everything you want in a fourth-line player, I think. He works hard, he bangs, he crashes, he can set plays up, he can score on a deke, on a blast. What can't Timashov do exactly? Man, I really like Trevor Moore, but if he's healthy to go on Friday, I just don't understand how you take Timashov or Goat out of the lineup the way they've played the past couple games. It's doing right by them. It's rewarding them. Tough call, but it's a wonderful problem to have. Then the wheels fall off. Can't remember if it was before the 4-2 goal or the 4-3 goal. Travis Dermott gets destroyed behind the net by Kyle Okposo. Now, there's no call because why would there be? It's a Leafs game. Leafs games have diverted back to what they were last year, which is basically one minor apiece and then some stupid like too many men or puck over the glass penalty. I've seen a lot of Leafs fans saying, oh, he should be suspended or fined or that should have been 5 in a game. I'm not gonna passionately go that far, but the hit was certainly interference. It was way late on Dermott. Now, this is the part where the conversation starts. This is why you don't take fighting out of hockey. This is why you always keep your head up. I'll definitely agree with you that you should keep your head up, and Travis Dermott was admiring his pass. In my opinion, he probably wasn't expecting to be hit because he was ineligible to be hit, but that's why you keep your head up. You ever driving through a 4-way stop and there's someone who looks a little antsy and you got a friend in the passenger seat like, don't worry about it, bro. If he hits you, it's his fault. Okay, while that is true, I'm not trying to get hit. So yes, Travis Dermott should have been paying attention. All right? Okay, fine. Agreed. It's a late hit. It's a penalty. Been tweeting with some Sabres fans this morning like, oh, Okposo isn't that sort of player. Okay, fine, I'll give you that. It's definitely interference. It's the third period, the Sabres are losing, you want to finish your check, and it just looked like Kyle Okposo realized that he is about to miss his window when really he had missed his window. And then I see people talking about, well, no one stuck up for Dermott. Well, Matthews got in Okposo's face, and you go, oh, he got in Okposo's face. What is your $11.6 million player supposed to do in the third period of a game where his team has the lead? Fight Kyle Okposo? No! Well, that's why you have someone else. Since when is that person on the ice with your $11.6 million player? And for what it's worth, maybe this is just me being soft, do you know Kyle Okposo's backstory? I don't want anyone punching him in the head. I don't care what he does. The NHL has got to make right by this, which, I mean, I have zero faith that they will, nor should I, or you, or anyone, so I guess it'll just continue. Which brings me back to my theory that I mentioned on the podcast previously. You should not be allowed to be the head of the Department of Player Safety unless you have a minimum of 3 50-point seasons. Well, they never got suspended. Shut your face. We hire former goons and we wonder why goonery happens. And I know I'm saying that nobody should have fought there, but I'm watching all this stuff get allowed and I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should just bring it back. Steve, you're just a little bit more stressed out because you've been drinking coffee all morning and the Leafs have already loaned Rasmus Sandin to Team Sweden at the World Juniors. Yes, all right, yeah. And then Jack Eichel breaks through and he rips a Jack Eichel shot. No hell. And then it's 4-2 and then later the Sabres get another chance and on the rebound it's Kyle freaking Okposo because of course it is. But luckily, Freddie is able to shut the door. The Leafs actually clamp down a little bit. And how about Soup? Soup with one of the more impressive empty netters, and you get to see why, like, Soup was basically built in a lab. Him and Engvall on the same line, I really hope it sticks because it's so fun to watch. They're both taller than you. They're both faster than you. Soup passed the puck to himself, won the foot race, and went for the camera again. What is with this kid? I thought Russians loved cameras. I'm kidding. All I'm saying is that the tape is real. On his stick, the hockey tape. And the Leafs, as Sheldon Keefe said after the game, little harrowing, but they pull off the win in regulation, thank you very much. And the Leafs win 5-3. And they are in a playoff spot. Oh, there it goes. Well, they were in a playoff spot, and it was fun. Question. I haven't sent out the tweet. I'm about to do that. How is the OG victory puppy Iggy doing? Well, you saw him earlier in the video. Again, he impaled himself, I think, on a stick. That or he was attacked by a squirrel, but I don't think so. I mean, maybe. Anyway, he was running around. I saw him going full sprint, and I saw a dot on his back. I thought it was mud, because he's a dog, and he's filthy and disgusting, and he's always covered in mud, and it turns out like 5-10 minutes later I discover it's a lot of blood, and he's still just, where the body at? And I'm like, at the hospital. And he's a dog, so he's like, I don't care, there's treats there. So he got a couple stitches, and as of right now he's fine. How was the coffee? Good. Is the rivalry back? And this is from a Sabres fan. Yes, absolutely, and we should both be happy about that. Leafs-Sabres games need to mean something beyond just the fan bases going back and forth or the players not liking each other. Like, it was fun having Kadri Ristolainen. It's always fun having the Battle of the QEW. It needs to mean something in the standings, and let's face it, both our teams have sucked for quite some time. When was the last time the Leafs and Sabres were good at the same time. I'm not talking about competing for a lottery pick like in the McEichel draft. I'm talking about when was the last time the Leafs and Sabres were both competing? And the answer is at least 15 years ago. Seriously. So this is great. Both teams competing for playoff positions. You got a superstar in Eichel. You got a superstar in Matthews. It's the best. What do you want for Christmas? Nothing. Nothing. You don't gotta get me anything. There's nothing I want. I've had a good year, and that's the best feeling in the world. I wanted this thing in the worst way, and you helped me get that, and really that's a gift for other people too. It's whoever gets to benefit from the money at Easter Seals. That's the best. This little book right here came out this year. I'm very proud of it and pretty content. I love my wife, I love my dogs, I love my family. Someone just gave me a signed Felix Potvin mask. Life is good, man. Now, if the Leafs could just get in a playoff spot and stay there, it'll be a real Merry Christmas. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends that there's going to be a brand new Pinnacle Pizza Steve Dangle podcast tonight. I cracked my knuckle there. Once again, this team is ruining my life, but I love them. How I Became a Professional Hockey Fan by Steve Dangle Glenn. That's me. Forward by Jeff Merrick. That is not me. If you want this book, I know it's available in a bunch of locations still. If you go on the Indigo Chapters website, I believe they will tell you how much stock they have in each individual store. I know it's running out, though. Go and get it.